Arnold, then is it fair for the outgoing president to call for a scrutiny of the court's decision?
I think it's Goebbels, Hitler's minister for propaganda, who said that in times of famine, the devil feeds on flies. It's German's equivalent of beggars have no choices. The president has had his 10 years. In those 10 years, the president has not necessarily had the best of records when it comes to institutional support. We're talking about independent institutions, for example. And the president himself has not really been, doesn't have a good record when it comes to actually respecting the rule of law. He is the beneficiary of the 2013 ruling that, in my opinion, I've actually looked at it, and it looks like that was a quantitative ruling. That did the numbers make sense? Mutunga's court looked at the numbers, and they thought the numbers actually trumped everything else. In Maraga's case, it was actually qualitative, and it was about the process. This particular case we had was actually a hybrid. It was both, and if you look at the 24 asks by Azimio, it was both quantitative and qualitative. But then, it's not that the court was not being consistent. It is about something we are calling threshold. Look at the 9 questions. You know, if you're going to look at evidence, it has got 4 legs that you are actually going to judge evidence from. Looking at the Evidence Act, actually this particular panel has got a lot of guys with, or rather, literally everybody here has got legal backing here. So number 1, evidence must be relevant. Not just everything thrown in a case. Then it must be verifiable. Evidence also must be representative. Not the Majitu stories we saw and we had. And then it should be actionable. I said elsewhere that on the day when the lorry came in, the lorry of evidence, I said that lorry was presented as a lorry load of hope. But I also added quickly that from what I had seen, because at least I've had experience, of course, as a Mutu wa Mukono, in 2013, very young, looking, understudying how we worked out in code in 2013. I looked at everything else, but I looked at it. In 2017, I also looked at how things turned out. So when it comes to 2022, I open up my eyes on a Wednesday after elections, and I see the narratives and how we have done things, and I think, I know this place. I open my eyes, I have seen this before. And that is why I actually was quite quick to say, looking at how we've actually done the elections, this lorry, as much as it's supposed to present hope to our to the supporters, it was so much of a fresh tears trailer that was actually coming. And truly it's come to pass. Because you look at that evidence, did it meet that? Just see how the court, look at how the CJ spoke yesterday. No evidence, hot air, as wild goose chase, and everything that there has been. So we really have to go just beyond questioning the courts and then talking about independent institutions. When the president benefited from 2013, did he question or did he laud the court? He lauded the court. What did the prime minister then do, the former prime minister do? He called the court Kotibandia. In 2017, the courts ruled against it. What did the president say? He said we shall revisit. He didn't agree to it. But this time round, they've tried to reason out. This, for me, has been the Supreme Court process that literally everybody participated, and it was easy to follow through, although there was so much of misinformation. So, looking at how the president is asking these questions, of course, as a Kenyan, he has got the right, Article 38 rights to that whatever choices he picks. You know, but then, unfortunately, for the outgoing president, he doesn't have, he's not on the same level as you and I, Zainab. Because this one is the head of state. But President Uhuru Kenyatta has refused to be the head of state. He has chosen to be the chairman of Azimio. For him, being the chairman of Azimio is better than being the head of state. In his speech, he did not even recognize his deputy in name. He did not congratulate him.
And I was actually getting to that. I was getting to that, and also you preempted it, but allow me to ask this anyway.
Yes.
So yes, we go back to that particular speech, and perhaps many would assume that the outgoing president would even recognize the president-elect William Ruto, but it is true indeed that he didn't mention his name, he did not congratulate him, but he spoke widely about the Supreme Court judgment. But looking at the other angle as well, he is the chairperson of the Azimio One Kenya coalition. in his own right, he perhaps is also nursing, you know, the pain of losing an election.
You see, Zainab, and that is why I said that for Uhuru, who is also Kenyatta, being the chairman of Azimio is better than being the head of state, which for us we thought was a high honor to him. That in this particular instance, the truth is that he should actually act the head of state. That is the truth. But then, of course, we've gotten to a level as a democracy. We are performing in democracy to a level where whether he chooses to become the head of state or the chairman of Azimio, it really doesn't matter. For the simple reason that in the days past, we really expected an outgoing president to play ball. In reality, the president-elect was not running against Raila Odinga. This is the truth. The president-elect was running against his former boss. And that is why he's more pained. Even Raila's statement had a lot of grace. The president's speech did not have as much grace as Raila. This is the guy who has lost. But he had grace. Look at Martha Karua's statement, even on Twitter. Look at the tweets she's done this morning. They are quite graceful. But the president, quite pained, yet he was not running. So, whatever way you look, I just need to say that the president has got his right to choose to be whatever he wants to pick. His Article 38 rights are actually intact. But the truth is that we expected much better of him than this.
All right, let's see.